What's up, guys? It's Eric and Marcus from Rare Candy, and today we're back with actually another League Challenge series for you guys. So, if you missed our other recent one, we did post a bunch of videos from that, so I'll be sure to put a link to that. But anyway, so yeah, this is another standard format League Challenge in our hometown of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It's actually our area's first League Challenge ever, so it's kind of cool. I figured we would record that for everybody. But I believe there's 5 rounds to this, and I'm going to be on the left playing Vespiquen Zebstrika, and then we have Richard, a player from our local league. He's going to be playing some sort of Evolution EX toolbox, so Jolteon, Umbreon, Glaceon EX, etc. So some sort of a soft lock deck. So I guess on paper, Marcus, how do you feel about this?
Um, I don't know. I don't really know Richard's deck too well. I know he plays like different evolution EXs to like counter certain things. So like Jolteon to stop basics, Glaceon to stop evolutions and stuff. I think if he gets Glaceon online, depending on what his board looks like, you could maybe Lysander around it. But I'm not sure. I mean, you never know. It is kind of frustrating sometimes playing against like the stuff that just walls you that you can't really attack into.
Yeah, and Glaceon's actually something really I'm scared of. I actually didn't know what he was playing whenever we got paired up, so I didn't really know what I should be setting up other than Vespiquens. But yeah, I feel like if he can get out a Glaceon and just start attacking with Crystal Ray, it's kind of hard for this deck to deal with that,
Yeah,
since everything that does damage is an evolution other than like Shaman. And I don't know if you can Sky Return a Glaceon EX to death before it just knocks out everything.
right.
And I'm also not sure if he plays Rough Seas, but that would also further compound how hard it would be to knock it out with Shamans.
Yeah,
So, so other than that, I feel fine going against Jolteon EX and especially Umbreon EX. Both those are kind of dead cards. I'm assuming he would probably play Regice in this list as well. I forget all
yeah.
the different attackers that I saw during this match, but
Hmm.
you know, it was a kind of toolbox style deck, like I said, featuring the evolutions,
Yeah,
and you know, just cards to wall against your opponent.
right.
And I don't believe there's any Vileplume or anything like that either. So looks like he's just kind of favoring um, maybe just like a more consistent type of lock deck as opposed to getting out the item lock as well.
Right.
So if he does get out Glaceon, though, some people do forget Zebstrika actually does have an ability that lets it attack through
Hmm.
effects. So even though it only does 50 damage to Glaceon, if it does attack into it, um, that will also give us an out against it potentially. So
Yeah.
here, looks like I get to go first, have a float stone for Trubbish. See, and here, like I said, I have no idea what I'm playing. As I saw Umbreon, so I started to assume maybe some sort of dark variant,
Hmm.
either that or Rainbow Road. Those are, I think, the only real decks you usually see that play Umbreon.
Yeah.
So that's what I was kind of going into this assuming.
Right. Yeah. That's probably what I would have done too. As soon as I saw the Umbreon, I'd probably just immediately just drop a Blitzel and try and start setting something like that up.
Yeah, and that's honestly kind of the match that that's the reason you play this whole deck is to go against Dark. So
Yeah.
I was initially kind of excited for that. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I might play against some Dark stuff. But here, I guess I'm just checking to see what all we have in the deck first before we commit um, to choosing a Pokemon. Here it looks like I'm eyeing down Shaman. So we could grab something like a Combi or something like that, and then just we could have just Sycamored, but rather bench the Shaman, dig through our deck a little bit more, try to get some Pokemon in the discard pile first. So here it looks like we have Acrobike. Let's look at the top 2 cards. Discard one, choose the other.
Not bad getting rid of a Klefki.
Definitely not. Would prefer to be able to get rid of a couple other Pokemon.
Yeah.
We can potentially grab something to Sycamore away as well
Hmm.
if I really wanted to go that route. So maybe we can grab an Unknown or another Klefki. Or, or, uh, or another Comey. That's what I meant. Yep.
Yeah.
So that seems fine. Again, we have no idea what Richard's playing at this point yet, so it's really hard to figure out what you want to commit yourself to getting here. I feel like Comey's always just kind of the safe play. And Richard, you never kind of know what he shows up to the league with, so he usually doesn't play like super generic like meta decks. So
Right.
that's another reason I'm going for the Combies, because he might have some cool tricks in there that I'm not expecting.
Yeah.
So it looks like I'm opting to get rid of the Vespiquen, which is fine. We play Revitalizer in this list, so we're going to use Unknown's Farewell Letter ability to discard it and draw a card. Get Forest of Giant Plants out. This is actually a pretty solid first turn so far. We have a supporter for next turn. We have a Garbodor. Potentially slow Richard down a little bit.
Yeah.
Looks like I'm debating on attaching or Ultra Balling away this Klefki.
Or maybe even the Garbodor.
Well, because I want to use Garbodor next turn, probably.
I gotcha.
Because again, I'm still kind of working under the assumption that this is a dark deck.
Yeah.
Or Rainbow Road, and Garbodor is great against either one of those. But here I see one of those promo Shaman EXs hit the board, and that's when I start to get a little curious. Like, maybe this isn't what I think this is. So here we're going to see a Ninja Boy. And so here, yeah, you can see there's an Articuno in his deck, a Manaphy, Glaceon, Jolteon. So yeah, like I was saying, it's a kind of like a toolbox style deck here.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the Optigrab?
Probably, I think he's going to go for Glaceon. I mean, it looks like he's eyeing it right now, but that's what, seeing all of the evolutions right here hitting the board, like the Vespiquen and Zebstrika and stuff, I would immediately search for Glaceon. It looks like he opts for Articuno, maybe trying to like stall you out for a couple turns with the Chilling Sigh.
Yeah, I can't tell everything that's in his hand, but he might be, if his hand's a little dead, he might be favoring that just to potentially buy a turn or so.
Right.
So I can't tell what all is in there, but that definitely looks like the route he is going for right now.
Yeah. So I think I see like a Giovanni's Scheme and Escape Rope.
Opting just pass. Okay. So here we do stay asleep, but we do have Garbodor.
Yeah.
And here I am thinking about attaching to the Blitzel because Articuno actually does have fighting resistance, so that means Zebstrika's attack will do 50 plus 60 more since the Articuno is resistant to fighting.
Right.
Here we're going to discard a Klefki and Blitzel off the Ultra Ball. So I'm starting to think that this isn't a dark deck, so there's not too much of a point for more Blitzels. So we can maybe potentially go for a Shaman or maybe a Klefki.
Yeah.
Before we have the Garbodor hit the field, or maybe an Unknown. But here it looks like opting for a Zebstrika, just giving us the option to use Crashing Bolt against Articuno if we choose to. But here I'm very hesitant, because again, I'm just not sure what I'm playing against. And I don't know, who do you think the... Here, I'm actually thinking about attaching the Shaman because it's a little risky because we don't know if Richard plays Rough Seas or not, but if it pays off for us, we'll be able to Sky Return to put 30 on the Articuno, taking the Shaman off the board, and then using Vespiquen or Zebstrika the following turn to finish knocking it out. So I was kind of favoring a way of getting this Shaman off the field, especially since Articuno, if it does get set up, can take 2 prize cards off of it. Because here we're going to retreat and send up Shaman, and hand is not looking too good. So I'm actually really glad that we did that. So that'll give us the option to set up again at some point.
Yeah. And Articuno is kind of scary against this deck just because if it does attack with Tri-Edge, like, what's it got to do? Flip like 2 heads maybe to...
I think. Well, if he puts a belt on it, he only needs... What? No, because what was it, 20 plus 40?
Yeah, I think it's 20 plus 40 more for each head.
So it would need 2 heads then.
It would need 2 heads to kill like a Vespiquen, but if you just like benched a Comey and didn't get to evolve it or something that turn, he can take like 2 prizes off of that. So I don't know, just some weird like spicy stuff he can do.
So here it looks like Richard is thinking about going for a. Okay, for a man, it looked like he's going for Jolteon, but he does grab Glaceon, which is definitely, I think, the right move here.
Yeah.
Since as soon as he gets that thing set up, he will be able to really annoy my deck.
Yeah. Yeah.
and and here I actually got really scared because again I didn't know what I was playing against at first, and now that Garbodor's out, I've actually shut down my only way to damage Glaceon
yeah.
once it uses Crystal Ray, because that is an ability on Zebstrika, and Garbodor shuts off abilities.
Yeah.
So here I'm just like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Especially since he only has an Articuno and the Glaceon out. So especially if you're thinking like he's not going to bench anything else, he's only going to attack with Glaceon, like that's kind of scary.
Yeah, so I really just need to try to take out Glaceon as soon as possible here. I think I have Versus Seeker. I'm not sure if Lysander's in the discard pile or not, but that's a potential option, just to Lysander up Glaceon and just start attacking it immediately.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if I have one in there or not. I'm probably thinking about ending because I don't think we can afford to Sycamore away
2 DCE.
and Super Rod and Special Charge. It's just not worth it, I don't
Yeah.
think. We do have Lysander, so I might just prefer to.
Put some damage on the Glaceon, maybe?
Yeah, but I don't think we have enough Pokemon in the discard pile to two-shot it. I think we'd have to
Yeah.
three-shot it. So if that's the case, I'm not sure. That's tough.
So puts down another Blitzel. So I guess maybe powering up, assuming maybe he'll kill the Garbodor.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Here, what do I do?
So it looks like you go.
Guess I'm going for Sycamore here.
Sycamore.
So it's a bit of a rough Sycamore, but it's not the end of the world too, because Richard, he's only Ninja Boy'd the past 2 turns. So that kind of tells me he's having a bit of a slow start. So I really don't want to refresh his hand, especially when he has that Glaceon.
Right.
I want to really prevent him from doing as much as possible.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So you're doing 100.
Yep, so just enough to knock out this Articuno. So I don't mind this play, just because, like I said, we could have Lysandered the Glaceon, but we would have had to 3-shot it.
Yeah.
So doing this, Sycamoring away that hand, now
Right.
we can take a prize and then only have to 2-shot it. So it's still the same amount of turns to get this thing knocked out,
Right.
just we get a prize doing this way. I think that's going to be one of our only ways we can really win.
Yeah. Luckily, he had a lightning attached for that first attachment, so he couldn't just go DCE
Yeah,
Crystal Ray. So you get another turn automatically from that, I think, too.
yeah. And I'm actually really glad we have a Sycamore in hand. Our deck pretty small at this point, but we can Sycamore away basically an entire hand of Pokemon, which is awesome.
Yeah. So I'm wondering how many are left in the deck right now.
How many what? Pokemon?
How many cards are left in your deck?
Doesn't look like too many, man. I hate to say.
Definitely not a lot, but
I mean, it's hard to say.
yeah.
I'm sure I wouldn't Sycamore if I didn't have enough cards.
Yeah, no, I know, but just wondering how close you're getting down to it. Ooh.
Okay, so we have a Versus Seeker, so I can end my hand back into my deck.
put
at
it
some
back in,
point.
so it won't be that bad.
That's probably why I decided to do that there.
And it looks like you're down to like 3 cards left in your deck. Is
Yeah.
that what it is?
No, we'll be good, man. We'll be good.
Yeah.
So you're just counting how much damage we're going to do with this Be Revenge here.
So I think 140.
Yeah, and actually I'm in kind of a tough spot here because potentially if Richard just uses Crystal Ray and I don't have a way to, I guess, deal with that. Like if he doesn't knock out this Garbodor, I don't really know what I do here.
Yeah.
It's going to be really tricky. Okay, so here I think I have to just put up Garbodor and hope that
Hope he kills it.
Yeah, but here I'm gonna kind of set myself up. Well, actually, yeah, he has to because if he
Yeah.
doesn't Crystal Ray,
Then you
it
can knock it out.
yeah, so it's a tricky situation
Hmm.
for Richard definitely. So he really needs to bench something or hope that I can't take a knockout here. But I would imagine we would have enough Pokemon in the discard pile at this point.
Right.
Oh wait, no,
Yeah,
Crystal Ray,
he's
yeah,
Crystal
yeah.
Rayed you. Yeah,
Already
so you're
forgot.
gonna have to go with the Zebstrika for sure.
Uh,
At least he doesn't have Rough Seas out. So
yeah, it could be worse for sure. So here we're going to do a Crashing Bolt. It'll do 50 damage, and I believe he actually has 10 health left, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because he currently has 150. That'll pump up to 200, and he's going to end me, which I'm okay with. So he really needs to get something else down. It may be another Glaceon if he plays one, and start
Yeah.
powering something like that up to, I guess, try to lock me out of the game. Because honestly, I'm not sure if I can deal with multiple Glaceon EXs. I'm barely going to be able to clean up a knockout on one as it is. But we'll see what happens here. Luckily, we do have a DCE left in the deck. That means we can Sky Return with Shaman and do like a Sky Return loop if we have to. Here he's going to Escape Rope, promote that Jolteon to try to save his Glaceon. But here we're just going to Lysander, taking out Glaceon. And really, I think now I'm kind of in the clear. That's really the card that was going to
yeah.
really make this matchup a nightmare. But we can deal with Jolteon easily. We have enough Pokemon in the discard pile, and he doesn't have anything powered up yet. So I think we're good.
Yeah. So you see a Magearna hit the board. That's kind of different, I guess. I think I saw he played Rainbow Energy in his deck, so I get it.
Oh, okay.
Um,
That's good against things like Scizor, I suppose.
yeah.
But here, maybe he plays Enhanced Hammer or something like that too. That would be, I could see that potentially
Mm-hmm.
stealing a game. Maybe,
Yeah, for sure. Like if he plays like 2 Enhanced Hammer and can
yeah. Because
get a knockout on one of the Pokemon with DCE on it, and then just hammer the rest. Maybe.
yeah. But again, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I think we're good because we'll be able to take a knockout on this Jolteon here.
Yeah.
And I have a DCE in hand, but I really just want to save it because I don't know if he plays any disruption cards like that.
Right.
So I really want to hang on to it and make sure we have another DCE to attack with Vespiquen on the bench if we have to.
Yeah.
Okay, here's going to go for a Dive Ball. And I don't know what you grab at this point. He's got Remoraid's in there, Manaphy EX, Regice.
Mm-hmm.
Guess just going to opt to grab Regice. I don't think it makes too much of a difference now at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, down to 1 prize left, so he knocks out. Yeah, you knock out both of these Pokemon. So
Yeah, that's going to be our first round. I'm going to take the game
Mhm.
after finally getting
Yeah.
rid of that Glaceon. And here, Richard just showed he did actually play Enhanced Hammer.
Right.
So I'm glad I saved my DCE because
yeah,
you know you don't want to get so far in a match and then have it just stolen away from you playing a little over aggressively.
right. So I guess Zebstrika comes in kind of clutch against a deck that's not Yveltal now. Maybe just
yeah.
a little bit. You know, it lets you get some damage on the board against the Glaceon when it had the Crystal Ray lock on you.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, without Zebstrika, it would have been a little difficult. I mean, we could have attacked with Shaman, but you know that's not optimal either.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's going to be the first round. Like I said, I do think there's 5 rounds in this series, so definitely be sure to stick around and check out the rest of them. But as usual, feel free to like and subscribe, and don't forget to check out our merch over at rarecandytcg.com. Pick yourself up a shirt or playmat or something. Help support the channel. It would mean a lot to us. But with that, we appreciate you watching, and we will see you for the next one, okay?